We'll give it a few minutes for attendees to trickle in here. Give it about a minute. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll give it here another minute or so to let people trickle in. Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our second Business to Business Town Hall. I'm Kaylee Hogan-Schnicker with the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. According to a survey circulated by the Mayor's Economic Recovery Task Force, 75% of businesses in Lincoln want more opportunities to connect directly with one another and share information, experience, and resources on topics that are relevant and timely for our business community today. Today, we will hear from Kevin Winnick with Light Social Marketing and Jennifer Gruber with the Lincoln Journal-Star. They will cover the impacts of leveraging technology and social media platforms to address the challenges associated with the effects of COVID-19 on your businesses. And they will also share strategies that you can readily implement to promote your business in order to reach new and existing customers. Towards the end of our session today, we will have the opportunity to engage with our speakers, and you can ask questions as well. Please feel free to use the Q&A function or the chat box for those questions. If you do choose to ask while they're speaking, we will hold off and wait until the end. Additionally, a recording of the event will be made available after the event has aired, and we will also make sure that the resources that are discussed today will be available for access. First, we will hear from Kevin Winnick from Light Social Marketing. Kevin is the go-to guy when business leaders or companies need fresh ideas to take them to the next level. Whether it's thinking of new product lines, packaging solutions, or promotional plans, he's successfully helped numerous companies take the next step in the right direction. And I'm sure that he will provide some of those directions today. Kevin, I will let you go ahead and take over.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for allowing me to be here. It's a pleasure. We're going to jump right into it because I know everybody's time is valuable, especially this time of the year. So basically, we're just going to go by the numbers right now about social media, just in case you weren't familiar about what's going on. Social media can be overwhelming. It can be confusing. But once you really kind of get a strategy put in place, it really starts working for you. So again, let's go by the numbers. And I like to kind of always start by saying, the future isn't what it used to be, basically meaning that we have the ability to change it every single day. So let's use social media. 68% or 2/3 of all US adults use Facebook right now. On average, we spend 3 hours on social media and messaging every single day. 54% of social browsers use social media to research products or services. And 71% of those consumers who have had a positive experience with a brand on social media are more likely to recommend that brand to their friends and family. So all these numbers you want to like take home and just remember, because I've talked to a number of clients in the beginning and they're like, social media is not for me. I don't know anybody that's on it. We're all on it. We're all getting on it. 91% of all social media users access the social channels using their mobile device. So we're going to cut to a couple different scenarios. I'm going to try and help you walk through some things and hopefully make this a little easier. But why is social media important to small businesses? Well, for small businesses, you have the ability to make that personal contact with your clients. Larger companies are a little harder. That's why they have a customer service department, but you guys can always kind of take the ball and run with it and help your clients out. When you do that, you're definitely going to get a better rating. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing is, I'm going to share my screen here real quick. So give me a second. I've got this kind of designed, so we're going to go through 8 real easy steps. But kind of the first thing you want to like remember when you're setting up your goals and your strategy for your social media program is establish SMART goals. Those goals need to be specific. Exactly what are your goals? And are they measurable? Can you measure this? Can we start it on the 1st and now it's the 31st? Can we look at how we've grown or haven't grown? Are they achievable? Are they realistic? You want to make sure that I say, hey, I want another 1,000 followers on my Facebook page. Is that realistic? Will you be able to do that? And then make sure you have set some sort of time sensitive boundary to make sure that you're matching all of your goals within your strategy. There are 8 steps that I'm going to give you today that will help your business presence shine brighter and work better for you. First one is focus your efforts on the right platform, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. We want to make sure we're on the right platform. 2, optimize your profile and cover images. You want to look professional. 3, complete and review all of your business information on your page. 4, post evergreen content. We want to make sure that we're giving our clients valuable information, but stuff that doesn't expire. 5, post during slow hours. And I like this because I generally tell people when to post their content, but we're seeing a change, especially in the pandemic. So we'll cover that. Post the right amount of the right type of content, meaning video, links, images, what have you. 7, be consistent. If you're not consistent, you might as well stop right now. Consistency is the key. And interact and engage with your followers. So first, focus your efforts on the right platform. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Where do you need to be? These are the important questions you need to be asking. Facebook allows for the greatest ability to talk to your brand or about your brand and services. Instagram is perfect when you have a product or service that will benefit from visualization. LinkedIn provides great B2B interaction with your brand. 50% of B2B buyers use LinkedIn when making purchasing decisions. And Twitter, 81% of Twitter users claim that Twitter impacts their purchases in their deciding process more than TV. Step 2, optimize your profile and your cover images. If you're working on your desktop, you want to make sure that your cover image and your profile are optimized so that they look good on a mobile device, on an iPad, and on desktop. If you look at your cover image on your phone and you'll see that either your image is cut off or maybe your contact information is gone, you want to make sure you fix that because this is your first impression with your client. You want to make sure to make it professional looking. You want to make sure to give them all of the information. On your profile images, we all have that little tiny circle profile. So you want to make sure that's clean. Try not to use photographs with too many images in it. There are too many colors, that's blurry. You want to try and use your logo. Make that image pop because this is what your clients are going to be looking for when they want to find your business. Complete and review all of your information about your business. When you go into the About section, there's a place for your email, phone number, website address. If you're a restaurant, you want to put in your menu, your hours, pricing. All of this is valuable information. You want to give everybody as much information at a click as possible. If I'm a client and I have to click 5 or 6 times, I'm really not worth it. It's boring. I got to get out of here. I got to find somebody that wants to give me information right away. We are now in a society where instant gratification is important, and we need to have that information at our fingertips, ready and available. So make sure you go through your About section and you clean that up and you have all the accurate information. I will say that when you put your address in, make sure that that pin on the map is an accurate representation of where your business is located. I have taken on several clients, and this is no joke, that when I go to their map, their business is located off the coast of Africa. So you want to make sure that you have this information on there and it's correct. 4, you want to post evergreen content. Try not to publish content that has an expiration date unless it's related to holidays or a current event. Consider solving common and persistent problems in your industry. Even better, try posting something educational or even something funny. Humor, shock, and awe are great emotions to target with evergreen content. People will always share positive posts more than negative ones. And in this period of time right now, we want to have more positivity out there. Post during slow hours. Generally, you can go in and in your tools that you have available at your fingertips on your Facebook page, you can see when your clients are actually looking at Facebook and when they're on social media. You want to take a look at that and maybe not post everything right at the peak hours. You don't want your content to get buried with everybody else. If you're building a page and you don't have that many followers, you want to try and take as many opportunities as possible to get your message out there. If you are posting during peak hours, people who have 500, 1,000, 10,000 followers are going to just kind of compact on top of you, and you're just going to get lost in the noise. Consider posting some information at non-peak hours. If you wait until non-peak hours, you're most likely going to have all of that room out there ready and available just for you. Now, when I say about analyzing your information, this is your Facebook page. You want to take a look at it right here at the Insights. This is where you want to click onto that. When you click onto your Insights page, it'll give you an enormous amount of information. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to go to our other page. So give me just a second because I clearly did the wrong way. All right, we should be on a Facebook page. So you want to scroll down to your Insights. This is where you're going to get all of the information about your page. It's going to load. You're going to see everything about your followers, your likes, how much you're reaching out there, and even on your post content. This is valuable information for you. You can see what's been going on for the last few days, all the way for the last 28 days. For posts, you can click on that and you can go through and see what's working for you. As I said, when you take a look at this, you can see when people are viewing and when they're on Facebook. This is good information because there's a peak time right here at 4 p.m. Do I want to post something there? Sometimes yes, but maybe post it a little bit later or maybe a little bit earlier when it's not so busy, because then that constant rotation will get your post recognized out there. You can scroll down a little bit more and you'll see all of your posts listed, the dates, the interaction that's going on, and you can click onto any of these and find out more information about it. And it just goes on until the end of infinity when you started your page. But it's valuable information. You can see what you've done. We'll click on this one here. It'll give you all the information you could possibly need. Here's a post from just the other day. Oops, sorry. Here, we'll pick another one. From just the other day. Over here, you can see you've already reached 56,000 people. We've had almost 1,800 likes on this post, and that's more interactions down here. You want to just take a look at this right here. We've had over 950 interactions here, but this is important. This is where everybody's sharing it. This item has been shared 976 times. If you start multiplying this input on there and the effect that it has, this is going to be bringing in more clients, gives you more exposure. Again, not necessarily this is going to happen for everybody. We're going to have this kind of sharing opportunity, but again, take advantage of your Insights where you'll see your followers and you can see the growth patterns of how you've gone. Right now, this page has 14,000 followers. Back in November, or this is just November 20th, 13,300. This page has already grown by 1,000 people just since November 20th. So this is what happens when you actually use the tools that are available for you. Okay, let's go back to this. All right, back to my main page here. Use different content. As you can see by this chart, video is what people prefer. Everybody likes to be entertained. Anything that can catch the eye. It performs better than your status updates, better than links, hey, go check out this item, or even photos, and that includes memes. So consider incorporating video into your strategy. Number 7, be consistent. Again, one of the toughest things to do, especially since people are busy, maybe you're not on there, but consistency is the key to social media. If your audience is going to recognize your brand, you must be out there. You don't need to post every single day, but get into a habit of posting maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Look at key times, but always post around the same time on the same day, because that will build up your ranking, that will get you recognized, and people will actually look forward to your posts. And then 8, we want to engage and interact with our followers. Okay, this is the most important thing. If somebody's going to take the time and they're going to hit like on your picture, great, that's fantastic. But if they make a comment, by all means, take advantage and comment back. Say, hey, thank you, I appreciate that. If you want to learn more, you can check us out and you can put your website address on there. You can, if you're doing a sale, if you have a new product, talk about this. If you properly engage with people, they're going to come back to you each and every time because they feel like they have a connection with you. And I know this is a lot going through all of this, but it's very important that you take these minor steps. This will help you grow your audience. And one of the more important things that I tell people is if you're just starting out and you have, say, 150 followers, whatever it is, ask people to follow your page. You got to ask for it, just like asking for the sale. You actually have to say, hey, come and support me. For the most part, everybody will, because everybody wants to see everyone succeed. Grow your page, grow that audience, cultivate it, and in a short amount of time, you should see results. Right now, Lincoln has a ton of opportunities within the city to help out if you need any social media. It can be overwhelming, but its importance cannot be overstated. Its benefits extend far beyond increasing just your sales. The only problem is a study has been taken and 50% of small businesses aren't using social media. That's good for you because you can use it and take over that space, but it's an alarming number. And even more concerning is that an additional 25% don't even plan to use social media in the future. Unless something happens to technology, this is never going away. So utilize it. Clearly there's a disconnect there and we need to make those connections, see how important this is to you. A strong social media strategy will generate a conversation about your brand, your products, and your services. There are several tools at your disposal, just like the insights on your Facebook page that I pointed out. You have those available on other platforms as well. Use those tools, and just as if you're starting out, take your time. It's not going to happen overnight. If you have a business and you have a system that's working but not so great, fine tune it. Fine tune your existing strategy. It takes discipline and dedication to make your social media work, but once you do, it's going to just light up and you're going to have a great experience with that. So that's all I have. I know I raced through that for you, but I know Jen's got a lot more information for you. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin. That was great material. Next, we will hear from Jennifer Gruber. Jen is the Regional Manager of Digital and Emerging Media with Lee Enterprises and the Lincoln Journal-Star. She has a passion and mission for helping local companies build and grow profitable businesses. Partnering with the Lincoln Journal-Star, she aims to help arm business leaders with the knowledge they need to effectively utilize, innovate, and interactive technology to inspire ideation, collaboration, and communication. As the digital landscape continues to evolve at an alarming pace, Jen helps silence the noise and helps to get you focused and on the right direction for your business and bottom line. Jen, go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Kaylee, and thanks, Kevin. Great information here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So again, thank you for allowing me to be here with you guys today. This year has been a trial for any business, regardless of the size, how big, how small. And most businesses have found themselves needing to find new ways to connect with team members, with customers, and suppliers. We can't be afraid to leverage technology to help us stay connected and keep our businesses moving forward. I know that might sound like a broken record of every LinkedIn post you've probably seen for the last year, right? Or any podcast that we've listened to or any email we've seen, but it's never been more true. So today, following up from Kevin, we're going to continue to review some tips to connect, collaborate, and succeed in today's digital landscape. Again, I know Kaylee mentioned to ask questions. I've already seen some great ones come through on the Q&A that Kevin and I will work together to answer after this. So this slide is blank, and that is extremely intentional, so it wasn't a mistake. And the whole point of this slide is for each of us just to breathe, take a breath. Right? So it's really hard, really hard to adjust our strategy when reacting. I mean, no one could have predicted COVID-19. And if you did, let's talk, because you probably have some really mad skills of foresight. And building a plane while in flight It's sometimes necessary, but it can be completely overwhelmingly stressful. So many of us have taken a second to recognize that maybe our in-person experience doesn't seem as significant anymore. And a lot of businesses are feeling completely deflated because we've invested so much into what used to be. But everything that has to do with everyone starts with digital. So the good news is that each of us has found out that we're resilient. You guys have all made it this far. You've done an amazing job and you've fought a good fight, and you can keep doing that. So know that we're all here, from Kevin, myself, Kaylee, the chamber, and there's so many resources for you guys to latch onto to help be successful. So the COVID-19 pandemic has created a renewed desire on the part of residents and businesses to shop locally and foster local self-reliance. I know we've all seen a ton of studies that have come out. There's a lot of great stats that Kevin shared, I'm sure that you've all seen. And one of those was something that came from Nextdoor. So what they shared is that 72% of members believe they will frequent local businesses more often, even after this crisis. So we know how important local is now, but how great is it to know that our local community wants to keep supporting us even after this is over? So before we jump into that, I just want to make a promise to each of you, from myself, from the Journal Star, from Kevin, from Kaylee. We're here to support you. I am making myself available. I will do free consulting for any business that's on here today over the next couple of months. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Let's grab a virtual coffee. Let's talk through these things. If you have questions, I'm here to support you. I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to be a resource, as the rest of us are, to help you be successful. So please take advantage of that, whether that's today, in a week, or even next year. Don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. So I always like trying to make things a little easy, so I always break them into some things. So the way we're going to look at this is, how do we connect, collaborate, and succeed? So developing a communication strategy. Are we updating things as frequently as we should when events and offerings change? How are we communicating? What are the methods that you're using to reach your audience, your new clients, and maybe your existing clients as well? And how do we make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success moving forward? Your prospective customers and current customers want information, and if they don't get it, the absence of that might fuel some rumors. So for example, if you don't have on your physical location or website that you're closed on Tuesdays, and you have a customer that goes down there and they see that you're not open, the next thing you know, people are talking on social media that your business is no longer open. So making sure that you're updating across any platform that people might interact with your business is so important. Crazy scary fact that I've seen recently is 26% of American adults are almost constantly online. That's insane, right? But I'm sure all of us have sat here before this. We're on the internet now. I'm sure we're going to be checking social media later. And then when you look at the flip side, there's 26% there, but 43% of adults go online several times a day. You know, of course, young adults are going to skew more to being constantly online, as those of us with kids or a younger generation can attest to. But it's no more just a sign in the yard that we're hoping people pass by. We know people are online constantly. So it's more important than ever that we help you get in front of them. So 80% of consumers feel more connected, more or as connected to their communities as they did before the pandemic. Listen, this COVID-19 crisis really is different than anything we have ever experienced. I'm sure we all can raise our hands and say, yes, ma'am. Everyone on the entire planet knows about this. Every single person in our community has been affected by this one way or another. And as horrible as that has been and what we've had to go through as a community, that also is a huge benefit to you. Everyone knows what you're going through. Typically, your business problems are your business problems. But this is the world's problem, and this is our community's problem, and we're standing behind you. Things like this seminar series is just one small part that our community is playing and showing how much we support you and doing what we can. And then we've really embraced the shop local, right? So shop local is more than just a slogan. It's, yes, it's shop local in Lincoln, Nebraska, but it's really a symbol of the solidarity in the COVID-19 consumer marketplace. Many businesses, including several of yours that I've seen on this, have had to embrace unique business strategies just to cope with this pandemic. And we can continue to meet your consumers where they are by not just embracing it, but leaning into this strategy. So before we talk about any of this, I know that as a previous business owner myself, it's always, oh my gosh, what is this going to cost me? First and foremost, each and every one of you will be able to walk out of this after hearing Kevin, after listening to what I have to say, with at least one or two things that you can implement with no cost to yourself other than your time. And I promise you, I'm the first person to realize that the words technology, emerging media, they sound expensive. Believe me, after seeing my kids' Christmas list and Googling some of those things, I'm still in shell shock. But technology doesn't have to be expensive. In fact, what you'll find today is a lot of it's actually free. So let's talk about connecting. So first and foremost, you need to stay connected. Oh, look at this. Phone's ringing, guys. This is the fun of webinars. So first and foremost, stay connected. Communicate with your local loyal customers. They've done business with you before, and they want to do business with you again. That's going to be the easiest way for you to make connections and make additional revenue this holiday season. They already trust you and they want to continue to support you. Make sure that you've updated all of your hours, as we talked about before, and safety precautions across all platforms. Those loyal customers want to come visit you safely, and they want to have their friends, families, and acquaintances come visit you as well. So make sure that you're doing that. Don't be scared to try new ways of communicating. I know Kevin talked and gave us a lot of great information about social media. Maybe you haven't tried LinkedIn before. Maybe you haven't done Instagram or Facebook. This is a great time to try it. Have you been using text to talk to current clients? Have you been using email? These are all great, in most cases free, if not really inexpensive ways to stay connected. Now, as Kevin's shared, and I can't say this enough, you don't have to be everywhere. You can't be everything to everyone without ending up being nothing to anyone. There are definitely riches and niches. So make sure that you're finding your path and working your path. You don't have to be everywhere to be successful. So we also have to change the way we operate. Becoming the community for good, promotion, positive content driven, are you doing gift card promotions? Have you looked at finding ways to do curbside pickup and delivery? Maybe you've been hosting online tutorials, demonstration, or events. Those are great ways to really stay connected, continue offering your services in new ways, and maybe even opening up some free resources like Kevin mentioned earlier. The other big thing that you can do is work with other businesses. What are ways that you can connect together to help support one another and continue to support our community? If you haven't already, which I know many of you have, consider what changes you can make to your business to not only stay afloat during these times, but also better serve your customers, changing where their needs are now, which is at home, right? I know restaurants are probably the first thing that comes to our minds, which they all did a wonderful job here, shifting to delivery, carry out, and curbside pickup. So how can your company shift and offer services remotely or in a virtual manner? Maybe that isn't something that's the easiest answer for you right now, but think on it. And again, we're all here to help you sit there and brainstorm ideas of how you can better meet your customers where they need to be right now. Other things you can think about is if you do have gift cards at your business, offering bonuses to get instant sales for future shopping. Maybe you're offering products or services with free shipping, delivery, or even maybe proceeds to be donated when purchased, preferably to a local organization. The Journal Star has really great local directories that are totally free for you. So if you aren't on those, make sure you message me. We're happy to get your business information on there. There's a lot of resources that you should take advantage of. Like Kevin mentioned on social media, if you're having trouble with posts or you don't have the benefit of having a graphic designer in-house, using tools like Canva that are free or really limited and low paid monthly subscriptions, like $12 a month, are awesome things for you to look into to help you have really quality content, but without the cost. So now that we're connecting with everyone, let's talk about how we can collaborate. So first and foremost, how many of you think about Zoom, right? I hope all of us bought all this stock at the beginning of Zoom because I think we're pretty much all going to be millionaires at this point because Zoom has been a huge thing. But are you using Zoom or FaceTime or Facebook Rooms other than just for meetings like this? There's so many ways you can use this free software to engage and interact with your customers. Even if you provide a service, you have options here. Like think about virtual cooking classes, virtual styling if you're a boutique or a hair salon. interior design tips, tutoring services? Are you offering virtual consultations now? There's so many ways that you can leverage video in ways other than just meetings to help either engage with your customers or also provide revenue. I have a yoga studio that I never went to because it was across town. That was a little bit of a drive for me, but now I subscribe and do monthly videos on Facebook. And that's a new way that I'm able to do business with a local business online on Facebook, and it's helping them be more profitable. So there's so many great ideas that are out of the box that hopefully could work for you and your customers to help you stay connected. So let's talk about what you should do. Do work with other businesses. I saw a great advertisement this morning from Mercado. They have bread from a local bakery. They have dessert from 402 Creamery. You know, restaurants are an easy way to think about that. But even the local Boy Scouts are partnering with Colby Ridge this year to help partner with local. You know, maybe it's Christmas gifts or holiday gifts or customer gifts or, you know, something that you're bringing into your business. What are local businesses that you can partner with and help, you know, show your employees that you care about local, but also partner together to help each other be successful. You know, great ideas like creating survival or care kits. You know, these partnerships are really important, especially if we're able to offer items from businesses that had to close doors during these times. So we can work together, or if you're one of those businesses, reach out to those on the call today. We all want to support each other. And all of that works really well in our communication plan too, that Kevin talked about earlier. He mentioned some of the best practices, so I won't go in with that, but do communicate often. You know, if you haven't set up auto responses on Facebook Messenger or Instagram Direct, that's a super easy way to have a response go right back to that customer without you having to stop what you're doing. So you can better serve your customers in the store and those online as quickly as possible. If you've looked at adding things like Facebook Chat or Messenger to your website, those are great ways to help elevate your customer service using a free tool online. So now let's talk about how we can continue to be successful with some of these strategies. So, you know, again, Kevin talked about staying connected on social media. If you haven't set up Facebook or Instagram, decide if those platforms, or maybe it's LinkedIn, are right for your business, and then work out a strategy to help those be successful. Are you able to sell your products or services online? Even if you don't have an e-commerce website, you can look into promoting or even selling your product through platforms you currently do utilize, like Facebook. I know that the Journal Star has decided we are offering free websites to new customers, free setup, and then just the monthly hosting fee. And other companies like Square are offering free setup of websites too. So check out Square, let me know. I'm happy to talk you through that. So if you don't have a website, there's so many places you can go to get that set up for you today without that initial cost. Let's talk about the digital experience. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. So if you do have a website, find someone that's never been there before and have them walk through your website. Is it easy to find the products? Is it easy to find the support that they need and find your phone number? What we do know is that 87% of customers prefer to shop at stores that have touchless or robust self-checkout options. So again, if they can scan their card, if they can pay really easily and grab their things, any way that you can have those things, but also market them is really, really important. People want to go to your store. People are still wanting to shop in store. Yes, we like shopping online, but so have those things set up and tell us about them. They want to know. That kind of goes into click and collect. I really hope that someone names their dog Bopus after this, because it's the best thing ever. And that's buy online, pick up in store. So we know that 85% of people have tried Bopus or click and collect, and 65% of those shoppers say they like that experience. So if you've all bought Christmas presents online lately, we know that shipping's a little bit slow right now. A lot of people want to buy online and then drive to your store and get it. So this is a huge opportunity if you haven't looked into that already. If you do offer online shopping and you want to do shipping, keep in mind that online shoppers typically say they want to have 2 to 3 day shipping, and they'll move on to another retailer that offers that. So other thing to consider is, do you accept online payments? So many businesses are closing to the public, so accepting cash or in-person payments is no longer an option. So look at things like PayPal or Square. If you've never heard of Venmo, that's another great opportunity. Venmo is owned by PayPal, so if you do have PayPal, that's usually included and is free for businesses. But anybody in town that I talk to during this pandemic, we cleaned out a closet or two, and we've all sold something on Facebook Marketplace. I'm telling you, I have money sitting in my Venmo from a bunch of stuff that I've sold. Anytime a girlfriend would grab groceries and drop them off for me, or even with my dad, if I run an errand, he'll say, well, hey, let me Venmo you for that. So Venmo is a great way to have access to additional funds, especially of the younger generation, and it's really easy. The nail salon that I go to, my esthetician, all take it. So it's also a guiltless way for me to shop without my husband always seeing it, but it's also really fun. And it's something that a lot of people are using today. So check that one out too, if you haven't looked at it before. So kind of in summarizing this up and coming to a close here in a minute, make sure that you're not going dark in a digital world. It's been a digital world for a while, but especially with COVID-19, man, it's getting to be heavy, heavy digital. If you're not there and if you're not working it, you're starting to get left behind. You know, make sure you're continuing to communicate with your customers and potential customers, and use this time to redevelop a business plan and strategy. It's okay to try and change and try and change again. Make sure you're highlighting key things your employees are doing on focusing on the community, and make sure you remain involved and continue to support each other and other local businesses. Your customers will remember this in the end, and they will come back tenfold. So doing a quick review, the community wants to do business with you. They want to do business with you now, and they want to continue doing even more local business in the future. Your past customers are your best customers. Make sure that you're communicating with them and communicating with them often. They want to support you during this time. Don't be scared of trying new ways of communicating. Again, Kevin and I are here to answer questions if you're not sure what way to go or how to really implement that within your business. And don't try to be everything to everyone or be everywhere. You don't have to do that to be successful. You know, make sure that you're connecting online, that people can find you on social media, on Google, that they can get the right information that they need at the right time on your website. If you've not looked into online payments, it's a great option to look into for the convenience for your shoppers. And make sure you stay connected with your customers and each other during this time. You have a wealth of support, not just with the chamber, but every business sitting here. And I know everyone wants to see each other be successful. And again, remember, we're stronger together. So we're here to help, and we are all going to get through this. And this time next year, we are going to be celebrating the successes that you have. So that's all I have now, Kaylee. If you want to take questions, or Kevin, if you have anything to add too.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. That was great. We do have a couple questions here. Kevin, first of all, can you share your list of 8 items again?
I'm sure I can. I was just going to kind of piggyback on what Jen had said about partnering with other businesses. I think it's a brilliant idea. And again, don't think about it as, well, Christmas is right around the corner, so why would I do it? Look at the new year. I mean, we're all want to start off 2021 fantastic in a new position. So it's still a perfect time to partner with maybe your neighbor, someone down the street. I know that downtown, the guys at the tavern and the other room partnered with Wax Buffalo. So you've got spirits and candles and coming together and making these really cool packages that you can pick up and give as gift items. So it just takes a little bit of creativity to think about, well, how can I partner my services or my products with somebody next door that I like? But it might help, and we need that now. So I really appreciate that. Let me pull up this. So there they are, the top 8 things that you can take a look at. Didn't want to run that on regular play function, so I think that you can see that.
Yes, and we will be sharing their slides as well, so you will get this information again.
And Jen, I'll be more than happy. I'll put this into a PDF format and send over that you guys can have this ready, available to send out to anybody that needs it later on.
Perfect. And we'll send the recording as well. So you'll have access to both simultaneously. An additional question, can either of you speak to using free platforms for scheduling or posting to social, especially when you're running similar content across multiple platforms?
Sure. I can jump in, and then Kevin, if you have something to add. So a lot of social media platforms like Facebook offer their own scheduling functionality. So if you're just posting on Facebook, there's already options built into the platform that you can use. But if you're looking at trying to streamline and make it easier for you, there are several free or really low dollar platforms that you might want to look at and use. Really, it's going to be specific to your business, what you need, which social media platforms you want to post to. Instagram can really be finicky. So depending on where you're wanting to post and how you're wanting to handle things, it's going to be unique to you. So Kevin, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, if you're already on Facebook or Instagram, fortunately because they're two and the same, you can go to Creator Studio as part of the Facebook function, and that will allow you to schedule your posts, kind of look at everything and help you with your insights. And that's free. I mean, what's better than free? It can really help you. So if you get a chance, check out Creator Studio. And again, if it's something that looks a little overwhelming, if you need help, I'd be more than happy to walk somebody through it.
Another question that I received before is, how do you know which is the best platform to get on for your business or company?
You know, it's really not that hard. Facebook right now is the biggest search engine out there. And I tell people that because I want people to understand that when I'm talking to Jen on Facebook and I'm looking at a post, Jen might say, hey, I'm looking for a plumber. Well, I know a plumber. I'm going to send her my recommendation. Well, Jen's not going to leave Facebook and then go look somebody up. They're going to go right in and type that plumber's name in the search function, and it's going to pull up their business page. If Jen likes that, she can scroll through and see all the work that they did, see what people are talking about, and if they're a great company. And that's a valuable tool, because before it used to be, I'd refer somebody to Jen. She goes, okay, maybe I have to look up into Yellow Pages or something else, but there's so much information out there that, again, Facebook is super strong. But if you're a business selling to another business, B2B, LinkedIn is your best bet, because you don't want to waste time. You want to spread your wings and get out there and get the message out to other businesses. Facebook is more personal. Instagram, I tell people, hey, if you're in real estate, if you build furniture, if you are an artist, that's where your products need to be, because it's highly visual. People want to be wowed by these images. And if you have it and you've got great photography on there, that's going to draw people towards you, and they're going to check you out that way. So it really depends on what industry you're in, but each one has a benefit for you.
We have additional question in regards to advertising for Facebook and Instagram. Do you believe that they work well? And are there certain businesses or products that you think sell better on one or the other platforms? And Kevin, I know you kind of touched on this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, so echoing what Kevin said, it also depends on the demographic of the people that you're looking at going after. If you're going after college students, you're probably going to have a better opportunity of reaching them on Instagram than Facebook, because that's where they are. But again, you have to also be prepared for the heavily visual content and really investing in your photography and your consistency there. You have a lot less room for branding error there, because people really, really appreciate consistency and quality in the imagery. Depending on the products that you're selling, very similar to what Kevin said, if you have products, if you have really good photos, if you have great models for those photos, Instagram can work really, really great. But although they just rolled out some really good shop features, that's where I would look. If you're using the shop feature, especially with Facebook and Instagram being owned by the same entity, you can really streamline and run them on both platforms really easily. So in the Facebook, Instagram war, I would say, honestly, both of them are best, because you can streamline getting those posted and getting those shop functionalities working for you.
In addition to that, because they're both there and you can post on both, you don't have to do twice as work. You do one and then stream it over to the other. It's pretty much seamless, but it's a way to make an effective use of your time.
What are some additional examples of asking customers to follow or like your business on Facebook or Instagram, etc., without being too pushy?
I can jump in, Kevin, if you have some other ideas, but sometimes it's just simply saying, hey, like us on Facebook. If you offer great videos. So if you're, a boutique, for example, and you're going to offer free styling, videos or information or tips or outfits of the day, saying that, hey, follow us on Facebook to see our latest outfit of the day. If you're an architecture company, same thing. It's not just about getting them to like your page. It's about what are you going to entice them with to not only go there, but stay there and come back, because you can have all the followers in the world. And if you're not continuing to engage them, they're not going to see what you're posting anyway. So sometimes it's just a question of asking them and then offering, a benefit for them to come and engage with you and check back with you. I know a lot of companies also do contesting around the holidays, or if you show us that you liked us on Facebook, then you can do this, or follow our newsletter and get these items. So there's a lot of strategies that you can employ, really depending on your business and business model, that can easily be successful without you being pushy.
Yes. And in addition to that, or if you don't know, you can like other pages as your business. So if you go in and say I'm a restaurant and I find this great food service, I can go on there, and instead of just hitting like as yourself, there's a drop down menu and it'll give you the choice of saying like as your page. So guess what? Now I've liked this food service and I'm a restaurant. That food service is going to go, oh, great. Maybe we do business, maybe we don't, but they like them. Now we're going to watch them. They're going to come over and like us. So you can take advantage of different things like that. You can like something like the Chamber. You can like things like the Journal Star. Anything like that will show up on your page, and people will be able to see what your business actually is liking on there. And that's a valuable tool, because if somebody says, hey, I'm a Chamber member, I got to like you as well. And I got to follow you because you might have something important to me. So there are so many ways and steps that you can do it, instead of just saying, like our page, follow us, like the classic meme, follow me for more recipes. But you can always tease. I know that there are people out there going, I got one thing that I have to share. Well, do a teaser on Monday and say, coming up on Friday, we're going to do the big reveal. There are definitely creative things out there that you can do. And again, that's why we're out here to help people with that. So I think that's a good way of doing it.
I agree for sure. One of our attendees sells t-shirts via drop shipping. How can they use influencers to help sell products?
Yeah, that's a great question. In fact, we've been working with several local influencers for a company lately, and it really comes down to having great micro influencers, depending on how local you are, or if you're selling nationally, getting really great influencers that are engaged with their audience, and that you're ensuring that you have really good quality posts coming from them and quality audiences that they have as well. There's also a lot of memes on this, Kevin, about how some people get their followers. So being mindful of that will really set you up for success. But then it comes down to the photo, the quality of photo. It comes down to, everything from the filter, the influencer that you're using, and then really setting them up for success with coaching them on how to post, what to post, and doing your research on who you're working with before you do that. When you work with really great influencers, they pull a lot of the weight for you. And as long as you have great brand standards on how you want the photos to look, making sure that your product is in a good light or a specific light every single time, that's how you're going to be successful. Influencer marketing is also a good one to follow some other national brands. I love the Buddy Bandana model. So it's, hey, we're looking for brand ambassadors, right? So I just love the product. So I messaged them and they offer discounts. So they're basically, you're paying to be a brand ambassador and take pictures of your dogs. But so there's different things from business models to just photo filters and product display. They kind of really go into having a successful influencer strategy. But first and foremost, it's the quality of those influencers that you're using.
And aside from any business that it's not a t-shirt business, a quick And I don't mean this to scare anybody off, but when people are on their phone, you have 1 to 3 seconds to capture somebody's attention. And in what Jen was saying about how important it is for your images, 1 to 3 seconds, because our thumb is constantly scrolling, it's constantly doing this, going through. You want to make sure that image catches the eye. It just can't be a standard image. It's got to really pop. After that, you have 3 to 5 additional seconds to capture that person's interest. So now they've stopped on your image. Make sure that your message is clear, it's instant, and there's not a lot of like noise in there. You want to make sure you utilize that as best. That will actually help you get more people interested in your products. If you're just throwing stuff up there with no information, that's not going to help. So it's a fine balance. But when it comes to images, everybody knows we're all on social media all day long. There's a ton of noise out there. You want to make sure that you stand out from the crowd.
The one other thing I'd add to that, whether it's using influencers, which, some businesses might be a good fit, other businesses, it just isn't a great model fit for you. But anytime you're doing social media marketing and driving traffic to your website, layering in remarketing is so important, because we think about abandoned carts, or by all means, we're really distracted people, right? Like, we have so much going on, forget the pandemic, but we are constantly getting that noise that Kevin said, whether it's your kids walking by, or you have to make dinner, or you have a work email coming in. I'm sure every person here can attest to clicking on something they're interested in, getting distracted and forgetting about it. So adding in remarketing, which is basically those banner ads that are following you around the internet, pestering you and reminding you of that one thing you didn't buy. I guarantee you all of us have made a purchase because we were reminded by one of those. So layering that in will always increase your ROI, whether it's influencer marketing or just general marketing on social media, time and time again.
If there was one thing that someone today could take away and do yet this afternoon, what would that tip be?
So I think mine would be to go and make sure anywhere your business could be customer facing, from your storefront to Google My Business, to Facebook, to Instagram, to your website, that it is all consistent, that you have all of your updated hours. Maybe those have changed, whether that's from the pandemic or because it's the holiday. Make sure those are there. In Google My Business, I don't know how many of you have done this, but please go Google your business name after this and make sure what you see is accurate. Make sure that your hours are pulling in. You can schedule those out a year in advance. Are you going to be closed at noon on Christmas Eve? All of those are really important, because customers will get really frustrated if they're looking for you and you're not answering the phone, or they can't find you. And the same is true for whatever you're doing for safety precautions for COVID-19. So make sure your hours are up to date, the contact information's up to date, and then whatever precautions that you're having for your business are across each and every single one of those platforms. If that's the only thing you do today, that will pay off dividends, because if you don't have it, it'll cost you dividends.
Any follow-up, Kevin?
Yeah, she stood up at the plate and she knocked it out of the park. So that was perfect.
Awesome. Well, we have a couple more minutes for questions. So please submit them if you still have some more. If you don't get a chance to ask a question today, again, we will have this session recorded and available along with our resources for all of you to go back to and reference from. And additionally, over in the chat, I have put both Kevin and Jennifer's emails, so you can reach out to them individually if needed. Any final takeaways for everyone today as we begin to wrap up?
I welcome people on the social media. I know that there's been a stigma attached to it recently and with everything that's going on in the world, but as a reminder, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And so it's best that you get on the train now, take advantage of it, and do your best. But we all hit a wall at some point in time, and that's why we're all here to help out. I love the community. I love helping businesses, whether you're small or big. I love sitting down, especially now for a virtual coffee. I love to chit chat about it. Being on social media, I am on there all the time, and I love being creative. I love coming up with new graphics and ideas and everything. So if it's overwhelming for you as a business owner, find somebody like us to sit with and talk, and we can find a solution for you. And I'm more than happy to talk with anybody about it to help them find the right way, because it just does nothing but help everyone's business this way. So again, I'm thankful that I've been a part of this. I hope it's been helpful information. And again, I'm ready, available to answer other questions in the future at any time. So thank you.
Yeah, same here. Reach out, ask questions. I'm happy to consult. I'm happy to chat. But more importantly than connecting with us, connect with each other, like each other on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You know, we've heard some great questions and some great examples, and we can all always learn from each other, and then we can always support each other. So connect with me, connect with Kevin, and connect with each other. And don't let this be the end of the conversation. You know, whether it's a week from now or if it's 5 months from now because you saw something online, you know, reach out to us, to each other, and see how, and let us know how we can continue to support you as a community as well. So it's not just about us helping you with social media. Let us know how we can support you moving forward to help you be successful.
I agree, definitely. Well, thank you all for joining us today, and an extra special thank you to Kevin and Jen for joining us and taking some time to have us learn some new things. Please keep your eyes out for our next town hall in 2021, which is crazy to say. We're already there again. Feels like we just did that not very long ago. But as that, have a great weekend and enjoy your holidays. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.